So
you're not getting the plastic bags.
It's all ready to go now, is it?
We're rocking. We're recording as we speak, so I can edit it. So.
Oh.
Okay, quiet.
Okay.
Action.
He was a gun shearer, a ringer of sheds who had come to the end of his run. So he let out a yell and threw down his blades when the last in his pen had been done. He went to the office and asked for his cheque. The manager paid him in cash. Then he rolled up his blankets and started for home, ere he gambled at cards and get smashed. Well, he camped that night near some trees by the road, away from the cold and the damp, when a swagman came out of the evening dusk and started to make up his camp. "Come and join me, old-timer," the shearer said. "I've tucker enough here for two." "Well, my tucker bag's light," the old fella said. "Thanks, boy, don't mind if I do." Now, when the meal was finished, they started to talk in the way that travellers do. And the old fella said, "Have you been travelling long? Your gear and your blankets look new." "No, I'm not on the track," the shearer said. "I'm a shearer, just finished my run. And I've $5,000 in this here purse, just to prove that my job has been done." $5,000, the old fella said. "Gee, that's a lot of money, me son. There's many a man been murdered for less and buried someplace on the run." Then he went to his swag and took out a knife and also a sharpening stone. As he sharpened the edge, he looked up and said, "You should never have travelled alone." Well, the shearer thought what a fool he'd been to open his mouth so wide. He was sure the old fellow would wait till he slept and then bury that knife in his hide. So he lay in his blankets and waited to hear sounds that the swagman slept. When he heard the first snore, he slipped out of bed and into the darkness he crept. But he hadn't gone far when he thought he could hear footsteps not far at the back. So he quickened his pace from a walk to a trot, but those footsteps kept pounding the track. At last he was running flat out in the dark. From fear he was almost blind. The faster he went, the faster they came, those footsteps padding behind. Then he stumbled and fell with a terrible thud across a log that lay on the track. As he lay there gasping in fancy, he felt the point of that knife in his back. And there he trembled with energy spent, for he knew that his race had been run. When the swagman fell over the log at his side and whispered, "Who's after us, son?" Well, the shearer heaved a great sigh of relief and said, "Well, no one's after us, Dad." "Well, if no one's chasing us," the old fella said, "what the hell are we running for, lad?"
Yes, fantastic. That's superb. Hey.
I'm sure he's got another one, though. I'm sure he's got another one.
Oh, is there another one?
Yes, absolutely.
Turbulence.
Yeah,
You know turbulence. You do.
yeah, there's turbulence.
Does Dusty know turbulence or Jamie?
Dustin, go. Dustin. Is that the porky?
Yeah.
Go on, Dusty, do
We don't want that on YouTube. Yeah.
You can.
Excessiveness.
Come on. Okay.
I can do the dog's meeting.
Hey, where is she?
Crunchy, come on.
Crunchy, do it.
Turbulent.
If your son
No, I
won't
don't
do it.
know turbulence. I can't read it. I don't know it. No, I can't read it though.
Come on, Sam, show him up. You do it.
I can't remember.
I can't. I've got to...
No, we're all done.
I just want to know, is it a good advert to have the washing on the line in the background?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, we're in the Outback.
It's on the tree.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Hills hoist.
All right, we're
But I might buck it up, okay?
No, it's okay. We can edit it. No, I'm the producer. He's the edit. Go.
Now, I've listened to tales that the oldies have told from Kew to Meekatharra, and on dusty tracks in the southern state from Yalgoo to Mullawall. Some are gay and some are grave, and some with humour too. But each of the tellers always swore that the tale that he told was true. Now, old Paddy the dancer, a swagman of note, who followed the Nallan run, found himself on the tucker track and most of his food was done. So he pondered a while and thought at last, as far as he could see, he'd have to catch himself a fish and cook on the coals for tea. So he rigged a line from binder twine that he'd scrounged from the cockie's hay and fashioned a hook from a rusty nail that got stuck in his foot that day. And he looked with pride on his fishing gear, and to try he could hardly wait. But he thought at last, as anglers do, you must cover your hook with bait. He remembered a tale that someone told in the dim and distant past, that frogs were the things that anglers used with a fish to break their fast. But frogs were scarce as teeth on hens, though. That's what he said to me. But he searched around till he found a frog at the foot of a beefwood tree. Well, he stalked that frog on hands and knees like big game hunters do. But a black snake coming the other way had the same idea in view. Both of them grabbed together, but the snake was a fraction fast, and he swallowed that frog, but found himself held in the swagman's grasp. Well, he fished from his pocket a flask he had of very potent grog, and said with a sigh, "It must be done. I want that flaming frog." He squeezed that wriggling reptile's neck till its jaws were open wide, and with tears in his eyes he poured the lot into the snake's inside. Then it gave a gurgle and then a gulp, and then quite a thrist or two, and there was the old frog in the light of day, almost as good as new. So he picked up that frog and hurried away and bait up his rusty hook, and then he sat back on the grassy bank by the side of that peaceful lake. Then he felt a tap on his shoulder blade, and he turned with eyes agog, for there was that snake, all bleary-eyed, and in its mouth was another frog.